Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back to City Skylines. Got a new setup recently. New microphone, not using the headset anymore. Still have this terrible cough. I think it's seasonal allergies, but it's been going on for a couple weeks, so hopefully that clears up pretty soon, but I'm going to be muting every time so I'm not coughing in your ear, as per usual. Thank you very much for being super patient with me while I was away for a couple weeks. So we did have a couple of Mondays where we didn't do City Skylines. I did stream once during that couple weeks because I had family in town, and my son streamed one of my Minecraft streams with me, which was really fun. But yeah, no, we've been missing City Skylines, and so I thought I'd make sure to get back on schedule as soon as possible, so we're doing that today, and as per usual, I don't have any particular plans just yet, so I was going to jump on to whatever, you know, the mood, wherever the mood took me, but right now I'm looking at these trains, and is this just the way that they've loaded in? Where are they jammed up at, or are there just too many of them? No, they're waiting to go this way, so they're jammed up. Now they're moving. There's a lot to be jammed up, though. That was possibly something to do with this? We need to give them a bypass? No. I don't know. What are you waiting for? The train down in there. Let's do traffic. There's a train under there. One there. There's a blue one here. They're waiting for this one. This isn't working as well as we'd like. Can we do a bypass here? Maybe tricky. We want to solve this with spaghetti. I mean, we've solved so much, so many other things in our city with spaghetti. Could possibly. Now this tunnel here is really close. This might be tricky. That being said, this isn't necessarily stuck here. This could be moved down some. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Let's pause for a moment. Any trains? Go on. Any trains making their way through here will be lost in time and space. Let's stop. Well, I need to delete these tracks too, but just back those up. Let's move this down, not as far as we can, really. Give ourselves some room here. Then let's come in here. Let's go for one more segment. Get a squiggle going here. Can we use the net picker on the train tracks? Yes. Let's get a little down, and then, oh, far down. I want to go down and up. Where are we at? Underground, right here. Also with my new mic setup, I still haven't figured out exactly where I want it. Like, this looks good on cam, like you can kind of still see it, but it's right over my keyboard, so I'm going to need to work on that too. Go. Oh no, it was fine where it was. Let's go straight up. Space is not occupied. That's not the one we're trying to go off of. Here. Up. No, not that one. Being a little uncooperative. That's got to be the one, right? Like, we're here. Maybe we have to tell it to come forward and then up. I'm fine with that. We have to. There we go. Alright, now back to what we were doing. Let's unpause for a second, let these trains figure their business out. Ooh, that train's just gonna... Wow. Alright, you go that way if you can. Okay. That may have sent them off on a completely different course than what they're able to actually do. Oh, I did still want to get the squiggle in here. If we do this right, we can curve down a little. I'm not gonna worry about the slope. Curve in here. Then we can use bit tool to kind of straighten this out a bit. As long as the train tracks, the metal connects. Looks like it still does. Let's grab this node and kind of add out a little bit. Okay, so what I wanted to do over here is connect these. Same. Great. To this. Good. But I also wanted to give bypass options for this particular station. I think. Let's see how this works. Let's say if you come off here. Here we go. The split. They're dark. You can maybe raise this, and it will fix the terrain issue. Yeah, that looks better. Then off of this, straight back behind it here, join up. But I want to maybe go a little bit further. We have room for a reason. Join up back here. Okay, so that splits off right after the tunnel. Let's do the same thing for this other side. In fact, let's go ahead and lay just a bit track here, because we're going to go underground under the station. As short as we really can. Right there. There we go. Then this should allow us to go in the same way. There we go. That looks great. Here's what I want to do. I want to go 1, 2, 3, underground, across, here, out, 1, 2, 3, back up. Take a look at this for a moment. Grab this node now. It's going to have that bump because of the tunnel. I'm fine with that, but we could probably take the node and move it over. Yeah, it'll bend right here, that's fine. And then the last bit here would be, let's get it to connect very similarly here. Out just a little. There we go. Curve over and connect there. They can take the bypass from either side. I just don't want them, the reason I'm giving them 2 bypasses is so, this is good? No, it's not good. Is so that they don't actually bind here, or at least I would hope that they wouldn't bind, and it's the length of like 2 trains, so I really hope that that's the case. What do we have here? Moved the station. So do we have like a stop that needs to be moved? Yeah. The pink was coming in and stopping and then leaving. Blue moved over successfully. Blue's just coming in and leaving from this side. Why is it getting all bound up? That's fine, that's fine. We have out-of-town trains that are using this as a... that were coming through here, and that's what needed the bypass. Pink and blue are the ones that need to be stopping at the station. So we still have an orange waiting. Oh no. Okay, so waiting causing the... oh, he disappeared. If something pulls up here and has to wait, it does still block this bypass. Does it block the other side? I wonder. I won't really know unless we watch this for a minute. Okay, orange is pulling up. Waiting. And it does. It blocks the other side. I mean, they're probably all going to despawn for a bit. Also, purple waiting blocks that direction. Let's watch this for a moment. Bypass may not be long enough. What do? We don't want all this mess. Like, there's probably a better solution than this. I've mentioned it before, but we could probably just delete all of this and redo it at some point. I don't think that's a project for today, though. I can't wrap my brain around it today. I'm just getting back. Hey, Matt. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me after my my absence. Transit, well, we've been looking at trains, that's for sure. The trains were getting backed up, and so we made a couple of bypasses, but now it's just turning into spaghetti. And the current trains have been waiting around so long they're despawning. So we're gonna have to wait for those. We're gonna have to wait for them to come back naturally so that we can check on that again later. Let's look at general transit, though. Buses are transporting 642 people every 10 minutes. Our one tram line is still transporting, well, it says 17 here, but 97 people currently on it. So I don't know if this, oh, that's tourists. Yeah, 80. 80 people per 10 minutes. Then we have our one metro line currently, because we did we end up redoing the metro? I think we were in the middle of it when we had to quit before, so we've removed one of the, yes, we didn't finish the metro. Your last PC parts were delivered? Nice. Took a little while, didn't it? It's always the best feeling though to get your new parts. Did you get them all installed? Oh, happy birthday. Good birthday present, though. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's gonna take a little while if it's coming from Europe. Okay, we do need to add the loop back. Yes, while I'm thinking about that, that's a good idea for right now to get that subway loop back on there. We do have cable cars. I'll take you over to them in a moment, but we added the cable cars to take workers up to the top of the ore mountain. Metro lines. Let's start the metro line down here just to make sure that we're specifically in the loop. We just want it to go around this loop to the different stops. Kept this simple, as simple as I could. May want it to go both ways, so I may do a second loop. This needs to come in here. Can it come down here? Oh. Can't turn around right here. Delete that for now. Let's see if we can fix that. It pulls in here. We had two lines, but I did want to make it... Do we want it to be a loop? Or do we want to do like 3 stops here? Stops, 3 or 4 stops here. Delete a bus stop when the line's already made. I started making, and since I was still in the middle of making stops, I just right-clicked, and it... Right-click is like undo. So it just right-clicked like 4 or 5 times, and it went all the way back. And if you right-click on the final one, then it just kind of stopped making the line. Maybe I can just add in a quick little curve here to the tunnel. Let's try that. Net picker. Go underground with that. Bet if I go underground with this and then do the net picker. No. About if we do, because I'm not 100% sure if it's these tracks. Not me. I think it's these. Single metro track. That mod overwrote several track options. Made a few bus lines in your city very early on, and they're supposed to be express routes, but they have too many stops. So they're just normal bus routes. Let's see if we can add on here. Do a curve this way, allowing a connection. Gonna connect. Is that connecting? I can't tell. And I don't want it to interfere with the houses. Why would it interfere with the houses? That's another question. Metro. It's like snapping. Okay. I think that's gonna work for us. Let's go back to our lines here, and let's try that again. Start down here. Just following this around. Too many like right next to each other. That's I mean, using your advice of not necessarily doing that, I think it's been pretty good for the bus routes in this city. Around here. Come down here and then don't go to this stop. Just keep going. There we go, it can make it. Make a loop. Got that, and then let's also make another loop going the opposite direction here, because this is a big loop that we finally closed here. Make this all the way around. Your new bus routes have stops more spaced apart though. Yeah. I found that solving that when a problem arises is more my style. So like, that's no problem for a while until I notice traffic, and then when I look at the traffic and it's cars all backing up behind buses, getting kind of bogged down, then I either solve it with moving the stops or bus lanes, as in I think the previous city we did some bus lanes. Oh, one thing that I didn't mention when I started off the stream tonight is that at the end of the last stream, hey, thanks for the follow. I was actually just about to mention that we reached 50 followers at the end of the last stream, and then I got another follower while I was offline for a couple weeks, and then thank you very much, Hackenstein 420, nice, for the 52nd, I believe, follow. That's awesome. I now have the ability to make people VIPs, which I'll check that out later, and you know, I definitely have my regulars. Matt, you're in here all the time. You know, that might be something we could do. I don't yet need mods or anything like that. However, you know, definitely regulars are the prime pick for that, and you're always awesome when you're here, Matt. So, as always, thank you very much for hanging out. I'm in Packet Island. How's the prison doing? Can we even really see? It's not overflowing. New prisoners being dropped off. They're so nice to just walk right into the prison. Holding 185. Bouncy Castle's doing great. 8 visitors in the last 10 minutes. How's the train looking now? We'll check on the subway once it's populated the lines. Check back in over here. Not really a jam, just a little bit of waiting here. Do you have any neighborhoods in need of shuttle? I think that we've done so many different types of public transportation that we've kind of bridged the river with the subway for the most part. We do have, I believe, at least one bus route. There's one right there that crosses over this river. Let's look at them. Oh no, never mind. Something's up with Orange. Orange got messed up. Let's see. It didn't used to have to go all the way around like that. Oh, I bet we removed a leg of this to solve some traffic issues, so now they go all the way around here to turn around. Oh, no, they shouldn't have to do that. They can come up here and then get up right here. You have a stop out here? Doing. They're not taking this here unless there's some rule set for the lanes here. I'm getting super distracted, but let's check it out really quick. Don't see any lane restrictions here that would prevent them from taking this as a route unless they can't cross over here and they need to. Surely they don't. Maybe they need to come down here and they can't. Let's say that this can cross over as well. That fix it? Now? Orange currently does carry a few people. It's got 122 people that go from north to south, but it's supposed to just be going from this neighborhood down here up to the peninsula up here. Now, as far as out here, did do a route out here just to kind of connect the two sides of this, but mostly all of this is held together by subway. They take a subway out here, then get off at this stop, and then there's a bus stop there as well. No buses come down here really because it's just so far. Subs have to do it. So wondering about that. Like, I kind of want to fix this. Oh no, it fixed itself. It just took a moment. Very nice, very nice. So it was that lane. It looks like they want to be here in this right-hand lane to get over and to stay to the right here. And they weren't able to because of that lane restriction. It was forcing them into this top lane, which over here forces them into the far lane, and they're not able to make it to their bus stop, so they were going all the way around to make that happen. Okay, well, that's fixed. That's great. Oh yeah, you were asking about the cable cars. I'm not sure if you were here for this one, Matt, but we've got a couple cable car stations. We've got one on each side. We originally had done both a road up the side, which does get used fairly often, and then we did a walkway up the side, which was a little bit of a project, but and I've left it just in case they really do want to walk it. But the cable cars here have gotten so much use from the people who live in the neighborhood over here wanting to go to work. Yeah, I left it because I thought it looked cool. If we look at the cable car here, though, 112 in the last 10 minutes. And then there is one on this other side for Pancake Town that is almost in the middle of the neighborhood here. It's almost disguised. Man, dry nose tonight. Gondola in a suburb outside of Vancouver collapsed the other day. Well, this is in a suburb right here. I hope that doesn't happen. And you were just talking about how great Vancouver's public transport is. Don't give them a bad name and publicize that a tram fell over, or a gondola rather. Oh, it's suspicious. There may be foul play. Gondola crime. This one, 68 in the last 10 minutes. It's got 4 cable cars that run along the back of this neighborhood and then up. And the reason we put it all the way back here was to make it more centrally located for this neighborhood, even though over here they do have to walk it. They have better walking paths over here, though. You can see that a lot of them make it here to the middle. Oh, okay. So not only did it not have the full support of government funding, but also it was possibly sabotaged. I would watch that movie about cable car espionage. I wonder if it was a local used car salesman that sabotaged it so that he could sell more junker cars. I kid you not, we had, and I think I've briefly discussed this before, we actually had a transport bill here in Nashville that was really contested. Like a lot of people who take public transport would have loved it. It was going to extend to other parts of the city that are not as well funded for public transport. It was going to, I believe, include a train extension. It was really going to help us out here in town, but it was very contested, like I said, very partisan. There were people arguing about how much it was going to cost in taxes. They didn't want to pay more tax for it, yada yada. And then come to find out that a lot of the advertising for it that was against it was actually coming, and I kid you not, from an owner of a lot of the car lots here in town. Which, I mean, granted, it was probably more political, and he was just on that side where he didn't want to pay more taxes, but also it does just kind of look funny that if he was actually doing it to try to sell more cars instead of having people take buses, kind of hilarious. I like to think that secretly that was the master plan. Let's check on our university, actually, while we're over here. We haven't looked over here in just a bit. We are a little over halfway through our second academic year. We have 2 out of 4 academic works for a level up. We could get 2. We have some funding put in here. Could get 2 with our next academic year, so we'll keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I don't want to expand on it until we level up again, so we're just kind of still waiting. Just kind of watching. We have 3 in-game days. It's Wednesday, so it should level up midday Saturday. What's traffic looking? 80%. Not bad. Still seeing a lot of throughput here, but no jams. 8:47 a.m. on a Wednesday, so we may see an influx of traffic soon. I keep seeing these trees in the middle of the road here and thinking that it's a bunch of cars lined up at first, and then I have to kind of squint, and then I see them all moving, so we're good. Yeah. I kind of wish that there was another, like a toggle where you can switch from what it currently does, where it shows green to red based on throughput, and actually have it be based off of stalling, so that I could actually see red where there are traffic jams. I mean, it's a good indicator of where there may be traffic jams, but the fact that it could be red and not jamming, just high flow. This over here, this could probably use a little work. Okay. Take a look at this. We haven't done anything with this in a while. This actually worked so well that I was kind of proud of this weird elbow design with the tram that goes underground. They slow down here so much because they're changing lanes. I kind of need them to go down to 1 lane eventually because they're going up here. So we could push this down the road a little bit. We can say, okay, if you want to get over in this lane, it currently only turns right here. So let's say, okay, you need to stay, bouncing up and down. Stay in your lane here. Stay in your lane here. So they're going to get in their lanes a little earlier. They may try to change in the middle of the intersection. So here we'll say, you can go here. You can go to the second lane, and then if you want to go, you can merge here. I don't necessarily love that, but I don't want to change this road because we have the tram in the middle of it. I'm just going to jam here these leftmost lanes. I think that we're going to see more people wanting to go. What are you doing? You just turn around here? Oh, I saw that. So here we're also going to say, do we want to disallow left turns here? We can, and that would force some people to go up around this circle. Be turning around. One sec. You headed. Came down this road, you went up there, you turned around just to come back down this road. You're a post truck though, that makes sense, you have a route. Yes, that makes sense. But no. I don't think we wanted anybody to be able to cross here, right? Didn't we disallow that a long time ago? What's going on here? Or do we end up allowing it? Those trucks are above the law. They go where they want. Come sleet, come snow. I mean, it isn't necessarily a problem for them to cross here. They don't really cause an issue for the tram. I mean, they cross here. Vancouver had issues with articulated buses in the snow. So is it something to do maybe with the weight? I think because they weigh so much for being so long that like they can't get traction on certain angles or something. Bendy parts. Oof. Yeah, I guess if you're like, if there's a bit of a hill and it slides down, it'll put a crimp in the bend, right? Like, as if you tried to reverse, which you shouldn't really do when you have a trailer kind of situation going on like that. That's something that I never really wrapped my head around very well. Now I don't want to do anything with this because it's not backed up anymore. I've driven cars and U-Hauls that have had a trailer on the back before, and it just gets so weird when you're backing up. You have to like steer the opposite direction to keep your trailer from bending, and you don't want it to jackknife. And it's one of the reasons why I'm kind of scared to play Truck Simulator, even though it would be kind of fun to stream and just chat while playing Truck Simulator. I dread, because I know the kind of person I am, I don't want to do the easy mission end where you can just check a box and say, okay, I'm here. I would want to park the cargo, and that involves backing up an 18-wheeler, and now I've gone off on a total tangent, but yeah, jackknifing a trailer or an articulated bus seems like a nightmare. And could you imagine if that was your job and you got stuck somewhere? Like, how embarrassing. Where were we looking before? Was it right here? Is this good now? I feel like it was a circle and it was up this way, right? I think the traffic was only an issue there for like 9 to 9:30, like literally during rush hour. We're at 81% traffic flow right now. Kind of slowed down. I think just pushing that decision down the road some has helped. Yeah, I'm not inclined to do anything about this if there's no backup. And maybe I was actually seeing some of these parked cars and it was kind of worrying me a bit. We're good. Wow. What a parking job when they pull in here. Across, it looks like it's across 2 lanes, but not really. It's a whip out there right in front of a police car. We haven't done much. We're just kind of touring our city, looking for issues. And I usually hope for traffic to be an easy fix if there's an issue, but really there's no problem right now. Oh yeah, ugh. Sliding backwards on a hill with an articulated bus sounds like a nightmare. The hospital is on fire. That's probably wise. How often does it snow in Vancouver? Being right near the ocean, I can imagine that it probably doesn't snow as much as like Ontario or Toronto, right? I know Canada's a big country, but I'm just thinking like being as far north as it is, probably snowing more often mid-country as opposed to far west in Vancouver. Probably a lot like Washington, right? Washington State. Oof. Like, even hills. Like, I feel like you shouldn't even take articulated buses on hills. I think they should be used for, like, inner-city flat areas. A few times in the winter. I don't even know what to think right now of the pre-apocalyptic weather we've been getting here in the Mid-South, as it's called in Nashville. It's been 100 degrees Fahrenheit off and on for weeks here in the summer. It's been a super hot summer, but then in the winter it gets down below 0. It's just so, like, the fluctuation is so great, and I would love to live on the West Coast where it's a good, 20-30 degrees warmer Fahrenheit, and cooler during the most appropriate times of year. That would be ideal. Now I can see why so many people flock to California and Seattle, Portland, Oregon. Let's look at some of our other stats, right? So let's look at, if we mouse over to the, where did that mod go? Was it over here? There it is. What's red here? Heating, which we're not playing on a winter map. Police department availability is only at a 51. Let's take a look at that. Let's solve some of these minor administrative issues right now. I'm missing it. It's crime. That's what we're looking for. Let's see. We have no police up here in the industrial area, so if someone wanted to break into a coal mine, they could. We also don't have much in the Applegate district, so we've been doing a bad job policing a couple of our industrial areas. Let's get a little police coverage up here. Alright, Matt, I'll see you when you get back. Snowmageddon 2017, I just saw that message. Oof. I feel like every year's been, and not even Snowmageddon, it just got really freezing cold here, and without even any snow last year. Garbage? Yeah, that's a good point too. We'll check that in just a moment. Yeah, I thought we had a tiny police outpost, but maybe that was a mod that we disabled. That would be fine, though. Helicopters, the prison, police headquarters. We're just gonna go with a station. Normal station. We optimized a lot of the space up here, though, so we'll just plug it in at the end of a road if we can. I want anarchy on. I'm not trying to override anything. We get one in. We had one down here at the bottom of the hill. Or would that stretch? No, until it gets water and electricity. It has water. It has electricity. What's up with you? Not operating. You need time because we're on real-time mod? Why are you not operating? Police cars are literally pulling out. One police car in use, not operating. I need to be able to see how far you stretch. I mean, you're probably only just a little bit up here. Let's... I guess I'll put one on the other side. We'll see if that lights up. If it doesn't, then we'll just move it. Down here. Okay, now that one's operating, and it covered half of this. So I bet if this was operating, it would at least get this top chunk here. Let's move it. That'll snap it to... Go ahead and... Go ahead and get rid of it, and we'll pop another one in up here on this side of the hill somewhere. Which we could squeeze that in there. A lot of jobs in here. I remember we filled in for crevasse that we could try to increase jobs, and I don't want to reduce this down too much. On this side though, we can, so I guess we'll just pop it here. Are you gonna activate? Why would a police station have an issue activating? That's a good question. We'll just leave him for a minute. That just seems weird. Okay, yeah, we will check garbage. Garbage processing status is up in the green. Landfill usage is 0% because we have a lot of incinerators. I haven't been seeing too many pop-up. Seen a couple dead bodies waiting for pickup, but I'm not sure if that is too bad or not. See, I just saw one over here and it disappeared, so I think the hearses are doing a pretty good job picking people up. There's one, yeah, there it is. I haven't seen anything flashing red. That's one thing I've been keeping an eye out for, and I think that we're doing at least the bare minimum for things that are coming up as issues. We're not seeing many things flashing red, so we take good care of our towns. All this out here. Did we end up? We did. The offices haven't moved in yet. Which reminds me, that other frustrating part of town up here, where we wanted to put high density. Yeah, they just haven't moved in. Again, there is a construction delay for certain things, but I don't know what would cause a police department not to activate, or people not to move in when there's actually a residential demand, unless it's something that is, you know, for that particular area. But the only thing I could think of, which I'm pretty sure I checked at the time as well, were things like land value, which is medium in here. Could put in something desirable, maybe. Like, let's take a look at our unique buildings. We're kind of all over the place today, but kind of the kind of episode that I needed to kind of get back on track, so. Media Broadcast Building. The Media Broadcast Building is a significant landmark, and it attracts people to see its impressive broadcast tower. Also, it increases the effectiveness of active advertisement campaigns, which I don't think we've done any of. Festival area. Attract tourists and infuse your city with musical vibes by building a festival area, organizing successful music events. Oh yeah, this was the expansion for that, which I've never messed with either, so maybe we'll do something like that pretty soon too. Let's see. We haven't done the Statue of Industry yet. Having a booming industry allows you to build a statue to commemorate this great time in history of the city. Requirement for building the Eden Project. Let's put this in one of our industrial areas. We talked about getting rid of Smoggy Side Heights at some point in the future. This is an office area, so not really industrial. This is industrial. You know, we kind of have these plazas or parks over here. Or rather, these areas in between the roads that could be like plazas. And this is sort of a small suburb, Slag Farms, that's dedicated to industry. Like, what if we put it kind of over here and give it its own sub-road? Now, this road is already busy, though, with industrial traffic. Would that be a misstep? To put something up in here? I don't necessarily think so. I think traffic flows pretty well through this area. I think that if cars are lined up in here as well, they can make their way over. Now, I do think that anyone coming in, crossing over here would be a pain. So we need to put a traffic circle in here. We have here, but there's way too many tendrils coming off of the Cobra, or now kind of looking like a Cthulhu. So we put a circle right here. Gonna have this future planned train potential here, so that's just kind of, I left that there as a reminder to myself. So we could have it come over a circle if we wanted to send a train in that direction. So let's put a circle here. What are we hearing right now? Playing? Just a moment. Never mind. There we go. Alright, yes. So we do want to do a 2-lane, not exactly the same as this. This has been manually changed a ton. So we want to do a 2-lane highway roundabout, which we'll do with the O. 2-lane Where's it at here? 2-lane highway. Then let's make sure to... Oh, it has to be an intersection. Can it not just be a node? Plus plus. Control plus. Very strange. Oh, there we go. Okay, so what we'll do then, we'll turn off the mod. Keep leaning over, looking around my mic here. There we go. Just take a standard highway bit. Could be an exit, doesn't matter. We want the circle to be right here, so we'll come off of that. Doesn't matter, anarchy it. Control O. 2-lane highway. Yeah, we'll go that big. And we'll set our usual rules for this, so we'll do yield coming on, yield coming on. I may go, now that I'm looking at this, I may go 3 lanes on it. Just because I would like, oh, that's 4. There we go. Just because I would like to be able to tell this to send certain lanes here. I want to be able to tell these 2 here that they can get on specifically to these lanes. And then if you want to cross, you go here. And if you're in this lane, you get off here. Change lanes earlier or later if you want, but right now we keep the piece this way. Same over here. Be in a lane that you need to be in, depending on where you want to head. Right, and let's also just double check that those rules stayed. They did. So we do have people appropriately yielding if someone needs to go all the way around, which they shouldn't be going all the way around, unless they need to U-turn. Shouldn't see a whole lot of that, but they won't be binding up the traffic if they do need to go all the way around. Also, let's set the rule where they are, which one is it again? Not that one, it's this one. Where they are allowed to pull in. Okay, we've already got it, it's green. So they are allowed to pull into the intersection, as it were. Cool. So now with this circle, we can do an off-road here, which I'll make the same kind, actually. We'll go with this. Come up a block. Go up to here. Give it a curve. Up along this tree line, that's what I'm thinking. Sure. From here, bring this down some. Bring it across. So we have room over here for some other things. Maybe a park, maybe parking lots, maybe an underpass if we want to allow people to go from one direction to another here. But let's see about placing that unique building now. Up a little bit. Yeah, I'm thinking like right here, so they would pull in. We'll give them a parking lot if tourists want to visit here. Very, very communist. Celebrating industry. Here, cover this whole area. Why not? Let's bring it up here. Probably need electricity. No, you're good. You're connected right there, just barely. Perfect. Ooh, I don't know if I like... Well, you know... No, I don't like that. I want it to go over one square. Square. There we go. Let's also take this road. Let's move it down just a little bit so the sidewalk kind of continues and then bends around there. That looks better. And let's give them a parking lot over here. If we could find one. I have to look up the parking lots every single time to remember exactly where they're at. I think they're in. Where is it? This one, I think it's it's the base park. Then we need something long, so this one is 10 by 4, but we want something with a smaller number at the beginning. 3 by 6, maybe? Is there a 3 by... how big is that? Is there a 3 by 8? By 2, 2 by 1, by 5. That look. 6 by 5, not 3 by 5, okay. 4 by 8, so 4 by 8. Doesn't have the painted lines, so this is a no-go. That's not working right. Don't want it to be an industrial parking lot. 3 by 4 again. 9 by 3, which would be great if we had a road on that side. Now, you know, could also put it over here and then move the park over again. Let's see, let's move the park. Put this in here. Right on the edge. Park back here. Oh, but it doesn't look right. People are already parking there, but for whatever reason, the package that's from, the painted lines do not match up. Can't have that. It has to look decent. 3 by 12. Is this the same pack? Now that looks okay. I mean, it's huge. And it looks like it's wasting a lot of space. But I can be okay with that. Let's move the intersection down this way some. Actually, just grab all 3 of these. Put them evenly down. Take this. Will legit move these. I would like for them to snap properly. Alright, so I think that looks better. I mean, it's very, like, concrete. And now that we've moved this a bit, it doesn't get power, but that's okay. We can cross the power here. Let's go from this side. There. And there. Good. Operating normally. Speaking of operating normally, how's our police department? Did it activate? It did. It finally activated. Now we have mostly green up here. Excellent. Enjoy that birthday cake. I'm jealous. My birthday's not for another 2 months, 2.5 months. Of course, I could just go buy birthday cake anytime. I ate an entire bag of Chips Ahoy the other day. I'm an adult. I can do what I want. Traffic lights there. This is just to be able to pull tourists to this area. I just wanted to be able to say that we put it somewhere. We could, again, connect to the traffic in different ways as well, but right now it's just an area they could drive into, park, visit here, be a tourist. Pause, what are you doing? Are you... Click on him. This elusive individual here. What are you doing? Oh, it's because I have the traffic thing on. There he is. Charles Cook. High wealth senior, tourist. Parked his hatchback. Drove out here specifically when he heard that we built the Statue of Industry because he had to see it for himself. You know, it's kind of a mix between communism and like Mario from Donkey Kong. Okay. So we built that one. What else do we have? We haven't unlocked these just yet. Average citizen health under 20%. I don't think we'd be able to unlock that unless we specifically make ourselves suffer, right? Requirement for building the medical center. Fill 3 instances of cemetery, which we also didn't do because we got the crematoriums, but we could do that. Plaza of the Dead. 5,000 square miles of self-sufficient building specialization. Paradise for birds and bees. Birds and insects are crucial to any ecosystems. This is a bird and bee haven. Let's see what we have unlocked that we can build, if we have anything new. A lot of level 5 stuff, a lot of level 6 stuff. Okay, so what do we have here? The Science Center. Inside the Science Center, top-notch scientists from all over the world work to find out more about the world we live in. So where do we want to place a Science Center if we had a Science Center in our city? It costs 20,000. I kind of feel like it would be over here in the Intech district. We've already placed a couple unique buildings here. We've already placed the Transport Tower, Temple Complex. Put it over here. This is just the garbage. We talked about putting something else over here, but I'm not comfortable doing that just yet until we actually see people move into our offices, which we may need more. I don't know. Surely not education. Maybe we just need more people to move into our town that need those jobs, because our education is doing fine. University availability shows in the yellow, but we're not reaching our cap for our main university here, and so I don't want to drive people to other like stock universities. I would rather than bus in, if they will. But we do have commercial availability for the first time in a while, which is interesting. Have they moved into all the places that we've told them that they can? See, you can move in up here. Nobody wants to live north of the river for whatever reason. And you have connectors. You can get on the highway here, come all the way down to here. Have this connector over here. You have this bridge, which doesn't see a whole lot of traffic because people take the footpaths. I don't know what this side of town wants from me. This doesn't want to develop. Which again, we were looking at the cost. It's got medium to high. Like medium in this area. High medium here. Along the river is very high. Which is right in the area where I've got low and high density commercial. So why do we have medium demand for commercial but nobody moving in? Taxes maybe? But those are 10. 11 for offices. Let's move that down to 10. Industry down to 10. High density residential is 9, so I don't know what they could be complaining about. Commercial. Leisure. We dedicate, let's see here. Our zoning. We do commercial. We make guacamole gardens specialize in leisure and see what happens. Organic and local produce. Tourism. Yeah, there's nothing to tour up here, so let's get a leisure specialization. Where that goes. See if commercial starts to develop up here. We don't have any leisure specialization. Also, where are glass? Where are our cemeteries. An incineration place. There's a cemetery up here. We need to fill 3 cemeteries. There's 2. Don't have a third one. So let's put in a third one. Just to say that we did. Pick it up here, maybe. Maybe way over here by the dump. Sorry. But what did that special building say? Plaza of the Dead. Fill 3 instances of cemetery. I feel like we've had a full cemetery before, or maybe it was almost full. So right now I don't know if we can fill them. Or maybe they'll just exist and continue operating until the crematoriums can't keep up. I didn't disable it though. Empty building to another facility. Yeah, no, see, we... It has 150 bodies. This may just take a long time to happen, but I want to make sure that we at least just have the 3 cemeteries that we can use. So that's cool. Okay. Now, let's check on this up here. Anything? Anything? Bueller? No commercial at all, really. I'm surprised that the low-density residential even moved in then. Like, what's the deal? High-density residential right here moved in, but not up through here. Too costly? Is that a thing? Kind of back to what we were looking at earlier. Let's make sure we have police coverage. Put one down here in the Applegate district if we can. Here. So weird that it takes a moment for it to activate though. Hope we haven't broken anything. It would be a shame to have to start over on this on a new city after we've gotten so far. We've done so well. You know what? Let's move some new people into our town. We did that already with Guacamole Gardens up here. Where's our residential really? Right, so here, down through here. I think we've done a good job kind of spotting our residential in areas that people would want to live. Is that what we talked about doing here? Taking this out and making it residential? Was it residential? I don't remember what we talked about doing right here. There's something based on the tower? Observation tower. Restaurant on top. Attracts tourists, but like 8 of them. And there they are. This isn't a specialized industry, I don't believe. These buildings here, that's the... Okay, that's the steel plant. Are you within a zone? You're not making a... In fact, it says... Wait. You don't have a specialized industry. The steel plant is just down here. Not getting metal for steel products. That need to be within this district? Did I just put it down there for no other reason? But we've got space over here to put it. Kind of. We lower this bridge. Oh, we can't lower the bridge. Up over the subway. Maybe we can lower it sooner. Continue it out. This. We're getting rid of this district. Why not? ginormous thing. Wants to move. Well, you barely would fit there. Now you're within the correct district. You're a great view from the backyard. This house right here. You know, you come out in your backyard, you stretch, you walk through your lovely trees in the back, and then there you go. Great view. Hey, Matt. Not much. I think we've determined that we're going to get rid of Smoggy Side Heights here. We might keep it. We might keep the name. But this general industry doesn't need to be here. We've got so many specialized industries. I'd like to make this a residential area. And we have demand for all three. However, Guacamole Gardens isn't really growing the way that I had hoped, because we've zoned out some high-density residential here and some commercial that's just not growing, even though we have demand. So I'm thinking we need more residential, like general residential, in a more centralized location. And I think that this is a prime spot for it. So I think I would like to figure this out. So first I'm going to de-zone everything. Commercial's in here, but just paint over. Commercial doesn't need to move out. I'm just going to de-zone that. Rip. Just a moment. We have some special buildings, which can stay. I'll probably redo... Oh, these cars are people leaving work. I was thinking to myself, I didn't see a whole lot of cars in here. This wasn't a very busy industrial area, and these are all just people who lost their jobs. So, go find more work. It exists. Go work in an office. We may make yet another industrial area before too long if we need to, or expand on the existing ones. Wow! Sorry guys, you got laid off. They're marching directly to the mayor's house right now. Right? These are the line 3. Currently filling up with people. That's fine, it's just for the one day. Wow. I saw this tree for a second, I thought it was just filling up. But yeah, they're just stacking on top of each other now. Amazing. Sorry, guys. Alright, so let's redo the roads here. Frank's Fine Fish Stick Factory, you're holding out. You guys did not want to leave. One of them had a car. Alright, then we had parking zone. Yeah, we did a lot of parking and stuff. Oh, that's right, we did the parking for this. Maybe we can move that parking? I mean, I know that we could. The long ones along the road. Let's just move one of them. Wow, did I do that? Get down then. Guess that's better. That's fine for now. Get rid of these. Let's redo this road. So it's no longer going to be an industrial road. Let's make it a nice... good to look at road. Let's make it a 2-lane, or rather 2 on each side. That kind right there. 4-lane, trees in the middle. Pretty up the road that leads down here. happened there? I think I lost a tunnel. I was watching it. Oh, it was a pedestrian path tunnel. It's like dead-ending under there right now. Glad I caught that because that would be tricky. Yep. Yeah. Time for now. Pedestrian paths connected. Let's go back to what we're doing with our roads. Creating these. Should be fine if we cut off a power line there. Which I don't know why. The road's the same size. Make power up here. Right over there. We'll get rid of this. I think we'll redo these as well. Let's make these the best 2 lanes they can be. Let's lessen this space that we originally had the steel factory here. Let's say you can turn in from here. There we go. That will look nice. Let's allow a kind of a suburby cut to here. What would that do? I'll just make them have smaller buildings. I don't necessarily like that. We'll just leave it like this for now. Let's start with some neighborhoods up through here. Let's kind of start with these. Kind of paint those in. See where that goes. See if they start moving in right away, which I believe they already are. What's funny is I think we drove down the demand for residential, not just by zoning this, but by eliminating the jobs. I think we had a few people move out because they were a little frustrated. I wasn't watching exactly, but could look at these statistics. Population changes. No, I mean, not a huge drop that we can see yet on there. Residential's moving in here. Maybe plan a little bit more commercial since we have the space. Let's do high density. Closer to the main road here. Water still covered? Yes. Electricity will be. Let's also take a look at subways. We have a stop here already, so they're good. I haven't been in the mood to work on a new park in a while, like a manual park, but this would be a good place for one. It's kind of right across the river from our existing park over there already, but it's kind of neat because it's a whole other, you know, residential group that it would be helping on that side of the river. People just don't visit the parks, but it would be kind of neat actually. Maybe we can continue the Mykonos National Park over into this area and then have like a pedestrian walking path and a back entrance over here, so the same park could handle both. It's already level 5. We charge $20 every time someone goes in. We're making money off of it. 205,000 people have visited. It's crazy good. I know we're in the same color. Oh, it's game day. I see that, and I always forget that everyone wears Spartan colors on game day, right? The match is going on right now. Swim team. We lost one 3 days ago. What is today? The 10th. These are backwards. So we won one 3 days ago, we lost one 6 days ago. No more fans like coming to the game. Oh, they're all up front. Nice. What's over here? What are you mad about? Not enough buyers for the products. Well, I mean, we are trying to up commercial. We can do it in our original area here. What do we have here? No one wants this area. We can try high density, but I don't know if that'll solve this conundrum. No one wanting to move in here. Why not? Just right down the strip. It. Go for it. Why not? They moved in here. Just kind of stopped here. Is this a... Okay, is there something that I've done that drives people away? No, not forestry specialization. What have I done that might be driving people away from here? Match security, smoke detector distribution, come one, come all. I feel like come one, come all might be doing weird things, maybe? Why would this particular district have no commercial zones? Let's turn off the weirdness. Can. It is weirdness. Oh, is that set through the school, I believe? Or was it just through... policies? I saw it. Was it? There's the stadium. Man, I like the idea of match security. That should be fine. Commercial area is going to move back in now. Question. Did that do something to them? I don't see why it would have. What else do we have? Tourism specialization. I mean, let's go with leisure again here. I kind of just want to do leisure for all of them for right now, and then if I want to specialize in tourism, I will. Like, on its own time. That didn't seem to do anything for Guacamole Gardens at first, at least. Did it? Not yet. No commercial in Guacamole Gardens. Why not? What have I done? Like, this area has commercial, right? They move out. Maybe they just moved out because I did your specialization just now? Who has commercial? Okay, there's some commercial here. Out. All the commercials moving out because I changed them to leisure, which would be fine. They moved back in. You guys are still here. And it's still the Sterling district. I'm literally looking at some buildings that are commercial buildings, fashionable fashion shop. Then when I click on the Sterling district, okay, now it says we have commercial. Portisvilla doesn't, okay. Will you? What is the difference? Heavy traffic ban, match security. Nothing else. Oh, now they're moving out. Do citywide? You know what? Turn these on. See how much money it costs us. See if that actually helps. Our industrial and commercial demand have gone way up. It is 5:59 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm hoping that doesn't mean that people still won't move into a space. We have like no commercial in our entire city now. Let's let that run for just a moment. Let me see if I can actually research this a bit. Let's see. City Skylines, all commercial moved out. Commercial abandonment. The problem not enough products to sell for commercial is caused by not enough raw materials for industrials. Often this has to do with your transit network. It has high demand for commercial zones, but a lot of commercial buildings without enough workers is not necessarily our problem. I mean, we could try the opposite. We could try to get rid of commercial specialization and see what happens. Maybe that'll shock it back into place. I feel like leisure should move in, given the opportunity. And again, a little difficult to tell with current real-time mod. Let's do a rare time speed up here. Come on. All commercial just moved out. Not overtaxing them. So far as I can tell. 10%. There are no level 1 commercial in my entire city. Just ridiculous. Done. Anyone in chat has any suggestions for what can cause that? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What just made you guys happy? Something happened at the school? Did we win the game? We won! Excellent. Now that everyone's done watching the game, can they begin construction on some new commercial properties? That'd be great. Industrial area. Fire in the gateway arch to the city. This is kind of a heavy-handed metaphor for what's going on in our commercial zoning right now. Thanks. Congratulations, Orson Wells has reached level 5. Raw mineral storage, large ore mine, and a shipyard. Shipyard's pretty good. If we can plan out some space over near the river, that might be pretty cool. Where in the heck? This may require some offline research time because, yeah, like we can't have a city with no commercial, and I don't see a reason why everyone would move out unless we've done something. Like, I get it, the ones that were there moved out when we changed the types, like I understand that, but why would they not move back in when we removed the types? We have maximum demand for commercial right now. And I'm just spinning my wheels trying to figure out exactly what would cause that. Citywide. Is there a problem with people coming into the city via the interstate? Really not. Is that a thing? Is the city not spawning cars coming in? No, there's some. Down here. Normally you can click on a road. There we go. It does seem like very few cars coming into town. Maybe we've hit a glitch or something. I mean, not really. There's a couple. There's some. So we're going back and forth to work about this side of the map. Yeah, some cars are coming in from here. 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday. I am befuddled. And if this is an issue that we can't resolve, we may have to start a new city, which sounds... that would be terrible. We've put so much work into this one. I don't want to leave with just that, so... if we can solve any other issues while we're here, aside from people not being able to get lunch. The commercial buildings to get lunch. What else do we have here? We had university availability, that's fine. Everything else is in the green. We don't need to provide heating to anybody. Happiness 97. People are super happy, even though they don't have any commercial. And they need jobs. Any other unique buildings? Oh yeah, we were looking at where to put the Science Center. Let's go ahead and say the Science Center would still be good for the Initech district. Over here. Yeah, right there, next to that park. Has its own parking. This is just a great office district for that to be in. Sounds good. Well, Wednesday is wrapping up. 8:12 p.m. Wednesday. Unless they're gonna come in the morning on Thursday. Start building. I am at a loss. I think we'll call it here for today. I'll do a little bit of research in the off time. We'll come back to this city next Monday if we're able to resolve the issue. Otherwise, this may be nail in the coffin for this city if it's glitched. If anybody hears any particular way, feel free to comment. This will be up on YouTube, so you can comment there, or you can send me a You can send me a tweet on Twitter. If you could think of any reason why commercial wouldn't be moving in, if there's something glaring, like looking me right in the face, for what may be causing this, definitely let me know so we can fix this. And also, worst case, we could do something different on Mondays and then come back to this if we're able to resolve it later too. But anyway, for now, let's go to our cinematic camera. It's been fun, and as always, I'll see you next time.